Why are some people so devoted to making utility companies richer than what they already are? I am not referring to business management or shareholders of a utility company. The dedicated folks that I am referring to are people who add to the utility company's coffers by consistently being required to make late payments month after month. Even when they have the funds to make a timely payment each month, such devotees persistently and consistently will not pay their utility bill until they receive a cut-off notice. Being a procrastinator can be considered a factor as to why one would shelf their bills. Moreover, keep them shelved until the company that is sending them is forced to use threats before they make any effort to pay them. However, there has to be something more than just procrastination that causes a person to be so faithful in making late payments. True, there are those folks that want something for nothing and feel that they are being infringed upon by a requirement to pay for the product or service that they have purchased. However, there has to something else happening within the habitually late payers' thinking that makes it a must for them to ignore a bill until they are forced to pay attention to it. Normally, these routinely late payers are not people pressed to the wall for cash, and they are not experiencing a temporary economic crisis. In general, a chronic late payer is an individual who prioritizes things by the standards they feel most relevant to them personally. Spending money on non-essentials is placed on a higher level of importance than making sure that the electricity stays on and other utility bills remain current. People who have dedicated themselves to making late payments totally disregard what they should have learned from experience, that the bill they are placing on the shelf is accumulating interest each day that it exceeds its due date. People who make it a habit of being tardy with payments seem not to appreciate that the cost overrun due to late charges is a much higher cost than the initial cost before those fees were applied. Giving away their hard-earned money does not seem to register as being somewhat of an ill-advised approach to proper money management. Moreover, how can it register as being unwise to them and to a certain extent irresponsible, since this is their same payment pattern month after month? Now, if the person that will not pay their bills until they are forced to will obligingly keep this to themselves, it would only be a personal issue. However, that is usually not the case, because they have let the bill take on a life of its own, and now find themselves facing a payment demand that is beyond their resources. Under pressure to get the bill paid, they reach out to family or a charitable organization for help. They feel that they have some divine right to get what they are asking for without question. They do not consider that a family member have their bills to pay or that they are taking funds away from people who are genuinely undergoing a period of financial hardship. By seeking assistance from an organization for a bill that they could have and should have paid themselves, they place an unnecessary burden of people in need. I have a sister that is like this, and I just cannot understand why she puts herself through this month after month. I know that this is her choice, so it is very frustrating for me to see her do this. I made the mistake of placing her electric bill in my name, and month after month, without fail, I receive an email after email from the electric company reminding me that my payment is past due and giving a cut-off date if I do not come through with the cash. Living hundreds of miles away and having my bills to pay, you can imagine how dismaying these emails are every month. I love my sister and I sincerely hope that she gets her act together and stop paying these utility companies above and beyond the services rendered. I have made hints to her concerning this, but it has been like shooting at a target in the dark. I have considered using the direct approach, but I do not want her to be angry with me. If she needs help, and I can help her, my hands are always open, but this routine of late payments is unnecessary and expensive and very inconsiderate of others. I cannot see why she does not see that the money that she is paying on late fees is an addition to her bank account that she is squandering, and not out of necessity, but because she refuses to pay her bills on time. This habit of hers is like an addiction that has a hold on her, one that she seriously needs to quit. Oh well.